Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Mid-Atlantic Bowling League's Chaos Cup. We're in week number 5, the second game of our double header tonight. We just saw two Bashy teams go head-to-head. Now we're going to see Bash versus Adge. Tonight it's going to be the Birds of a Feather versus the Gutterballz, Galeshi versus El Numerino, Elven Union versus Orcs. Let's take a look at the standings for the sake of YouTube. Real quick before we take a look at these two teams. We're in Division A this evening for this game, and in Division A, BB Nuts believe Broncos are in first place. They're a Nurgle team. They are 4-1-0, undefeated here in Division A. Ajax is the Fishy Fiends, currently in second place. They're a Chaos Renegades team. They are 3-1-1, and JD Whitey's Blitzburg Steelers are in third. They're a Skaven team. They are 1-2-0. The Birds of a Feather in fourth place. The Gutterballz in fifth. Both teams looking to jump into third place here with a win this evening. The home team tonight are going to be the Birds of a Feather. They're coming in a TV of 1,145,000 gold. 12 players on the roster, but number 11 will not be playing tonight due to an injury. They have 2 of the blitzers, 3 of the catchers, and a bunch of linemen, as well as a thrower. 1 oppo, 4 dedicated fans, 3 rerolls. They're going to be up against this Orc team this evening. There are 10 players on the roster. They'll have to pick up a journeyman. Their TV's at 1,060,000 gold. That's going to bring their effective TV up to 1,110,000 gold. That's 35k in petty cash if I did my math right. I don't know if I did. But for the big and blockers, for the blitzers, a goblin, and they'll have 2 linemen, 1 of which will be a journeyman, 1 oppo, 2 dedicated fans, 3 rerolls. How are these two teams going to play tonight? We've talked about the Orcs briefly tonight already. 4 blitzers, they all have the block skill. One thing El Numerino does very well, among many things, does very well is team development. You can see, look, 2 big and blockers already with the block skill. Has Mighty Blow on Jeff Bridges as well. That's 6 players with the block skill, 2 of which have a strength of 4, 1 of which has Mighty Blow. This is a potent team up against this fragile Elven Union team, right? The AV 8+ across the board except for the 2 blitzers. The Elven Union team, they don't want to tango with these Orcs. They want to use that high agility, high speed to stay away from the Orcs and get away from the Orcs. You can see the 3 catchers here have an MA 8. Unlike many catchers, they have a strength of 3, not a strength of 2. Still have the Edge 2+. Of course, they have catch, but they also have Nerves of Steel, which gives them a reroll on catches and passes. Edge 2 with Nerves of Steel, not a reroll, cancels modifiers. But just because the catcher is not the thrower and doesn't have the pass reroll doesn't mean that the catcher can't be an effective passer. Elven Union teams are the passing elves, so to speak. All elves, of course, passing elves, but they have these really great catchers, these really great throwers. And so they have a very, very potent passing game along with their running game, right? Lots of MA, lots of edge, but really these blitzers are the keys here. And I think if El Numerino focuses on these blitzers and can take them off the pitch, this is a big hurt to this team. Yes, the catchers are great. Sure, the thrower is great. But if he can take out these blitzers with an MA of 7, block and sidestep, I think he's golden. I think these are going to be who you watch out for in this game this evening, and see if the Orcs try to take marks on those blitzers or try to get them off the pitch, maybe even tries to foul them. They're that important to this Elven team. These catchers, if they break free, can be a real big nuisance. And so the Orc team's going to have that secondary in position to stay ahead of the Elves to make sure they don't get past them, because if they get past them, nobody's catching them anymore. But really the focus, I think, is going to be on those blitzers. You want to try to eliminate those blitzers. If you can't remove them from the pitch, remove them from the drive. Get them out of play so that they have no real impact on the drive anymore. And now this Elven Union team's really hurting. If the Elven Union team can keep those blitzers safe and keep them effective while keeping them safe, I think they stand a real good chance at winning. Like any Elven team, they can score on offense whenever they want. So the momentum, I think, is in their court in this matchup tonight. It's really going to depend how Galeshi tries to implements a strategy here tonight, whether he's going to really stay off and away, or if he's going to get in the faces of these Orcs or not. Birds of Feather are going to win the coin toss, and they're going to be on defense to start. You see this often with Elven teams. Fairly frail teams. You can see here, AV8 on everyone except these blitzers. And that means by starting on defense, he's going to start with all 11. So he can guarantee that his defense is going to have all 11 on the pitch. SB Beaver, welcome to this room. SB Beaver says, I want to see a pass-heavy game. I would like to see in a... So what are we calling this? So, well, you know, I'll decide. So, so we had first, second, and third edition. There was a fourth edition that was in a magazine, a pair of magazines only. Then we had the LRBs. Let's call the LRBs were largely community driven, so let's ignore them. Then we had 2016. Let's call that 5th edition. Let's call 2026th edition. All right. So in Blood Bowl 7th edition, what I would like to see is a major rework. I would like to see passing really added as a big component to the game. I don't know what that looks like, but I'd love to see more passing. But obviously, it would have to work differently than it does today. Otherwise, these games would be 12 to 10. Cups formation here for the defense. 3 on the line. Orcs to set up their offense. Four on the line for the Orcs currently. They're going to try to block down these elves naturally. They do have a goblin on the pitch. Tara Reed the second. Six on the line now for the offense. They have 2 wideouts on the left, or they have 2 wide on the left. One of which is that journeyman that he had to pick up. That's Argok. Wasn't that the name of the first game before Dwarf Fortress? Or was that Arnok? I don't remember. Arrow formation here on offense. John Turturro back to receive. He's the number 8 blitzer. Here's the kick. More of a throw than a kick. And it's a high kick, so John Turturro can get under this ball here on the 24-yard line. Good catch. Turn 1 for the Gutterballz. First order of business is to move the ball forward all the way up to the 12-yard line at mid-pitch. BBNet says, is this Division A? Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Here, I'll pull up the standings real quick. I want to see if this breaks armor, though. Gets a Powell and Finch, the left defensive end. Broke armor. Gets a stun. Double Pals against Magpie. There's the standings. I'm going to throw this out here. I'm going to do it. I'll see. I've been hesitating to do this, but I'm going to try it for the next couple of weeks at least. I'm going to start setting up betting. I'm going to start setting up betting where you can bet channel points on, I don't know, who's favored to win, I guess. Maybe some other stuff. I'm not sure yet. But if anybody has any qualms about that, let me know. Either here or in Discord or something. BB Nut says, oh, Nurgle top of the league? Never. All blocks taken on the line. Still has a blitz. Shifts the right tackle over to the left. Jeffrey Lebowski now on the left side of the line. Blockbuster's betting is fun. Yeah, I'd like to see how it goes. The Gutterballz on the bonus clock. El Numerino has historically been a very contemplative coach. Really takes their time on these turns, tries to figure out exactly what they want to do, and generally speaking, works out very well for them. 2-die blitz now against the throwers. Gonna get a knockdown here with Mighty Blow. Just 7+ is gonna break armor. but no armor break. BB says, when I blow all my fan points on a bet and my kids can't have a root for offense for Christmas, I'll blame you. All right, I'll accept that blame. Gamer Mike says, wish there was more ways to spend points. Yeah, that's one of the reasons why I want to implement it. I'm trying to think of other ways to spend points. SP Beaver says, I like the idea of random bets like, will there be an injury as this half? Sure, I'll consider that as well. Oh, it doesn't work. Why didn't I make that work? Well, if you're on YouTube, we stream these live, as you may have seen in the descriptions. We stream them live on Twitch. You can check out the games over at twitch.tv/AvaUnit02. That's the letter O. That's where all of our official games are streamed anyway. Of course, a lot of the coaches will stream their own games as well. You can check them out as well. Or you can head over to our Discord if you want to play with us. Oh, I forgot I don't have that. I don't have that sending out to the stream. Well, all the links are on the channel page. I'm doing great. If you want to play with us, you can come hang out in our Discord, and you can pick up mid-season. You can pick up the season in the Spike Magazine Trophy that'll start in a few weeks from now. We've got about what are we in week 5, so probably 6 more weeks in this first competition, I'd say. Two-die block here over on the right side by this Elven team. Is it Elvin or Elvish? Gets a knockdown on Carl Hungus. Seven seconds ago in turn 1 for the Birds of a Feather. Largely, well, yeah, so this is the 2 ways they could have played this, right? So either they could stay away from these orcs, or they could start applying pressure, right? And it looks like they're going for the pressure approach. 2-die blitz on Philip Seymour Hoffman gets a push out of this. This is the Harpy Eagle on the blitz. It's really nothing out of the blitz. And yeah, there's that pressure on the left side. Psylord and Albatross, the number 5 catcher, are on the left side, applying some pressure. Oh, Gamer Mike says, I started in the Dungeon Bowl. My team this time is so much better. Yeah, you can start whenever, and you can start in the Dungeon Bowl. You'll be down TV against teams that didn't start. That or started sooner in the competition, but that's just more petty cash for you, right? It's more inducements you can pick up. Ball's going to move forward. It crosses the line of scrimmage over in the left wide zone. Now on the opposing 2-yard line. 3 rerolls for each team here in this first half. A mark taken against Albatross. Might see a blitz by Steve Buscemi. Here's the blitz by Steve Buscemi. Gets the knockdown, looking for an 8+. Gets the armor break. Good stun. Two-die block back at mid-pitch. gets a knockdown here. So the Orcs are going to stay caged up. They want to be taking these blocks. Eldergreen is fine with this. Elves leading into their speed, try to apply some early pressure. The Orcs were able to stun the catcher in the left sideline or in the left wide zone. And have a pretty solid cage forming around the ball here on the opposing 2-yard line. 2-die block against the #1 blitzer gets a push out of this. Why is your nickname the Harpy Eagle? It just sounds like you're a nag. 2-die block against the catcher. This is not going to work out. We'll see if the Gutterballz spend a reroll. They do. They're going to get the knockdown on the #4 catcher. Looking for an 8+ here. We've done 2 rerolls for the half. Will you quit being a Harpy Eagle? Man. 1-die block against Starling gets a push. Is there a bird called the Harpy Eagle? That's like not a D&D bird? Oh my goodness, there is. There is a Harpy Eagle. It's a large neotropical species of eagle. It's also called the American Harpy Eagle. Oh, that makes a lot of sense. That makes a lot of sense. Turn 2 for the Birds of a Feather. So ex-wife. Birds of a Feather largely pushed to the right side here, but plenty of movement, lots of agility. They can get right back in front of this cage, but they've got to protect. They've got to protect about to here. Black Wolf says, "Yeah, biggest eagle in the world, right? South America." I have absolutely no idea. If you want to know about 80s cartoons, 90s cartoons, I guess software engineering, and lasagna, I'm your guy. When it comes to actual facts about things in the world, I have no idea. 2000s cartoons? Not really, no. Or toys. Boy, I can talk your ears off about toys. Board games, Squircles, yeah. 10 seconds on the clock here for the Birds of a Feather. 2 players in the secondary now. One is a catcher, one is the blitzer, the Golden Eagle. 3 players in front of the cage. Plenty of movement left here for the Birds of a Feather. She-Wolf says, "Yeah, I'm of the time of the Tom and Jerry classics." Yeah, if you want me to talk about like 80s and 90s Ameritrash board games, I'm all about that. Wow, 4+ dodge to get a blitz on the ball carrier. Gets the knockdown. No fear. The Harpy Eagle. The biggest bird in the world. Biggest eagle in the world. Found the pickup here. Gets the, oh my, why? Oh, all these die rolls. Big play by Galeshi. Came in on the blitz, 4+ dodge to get this 1-die blitz. Pops the ball out of the cage. Was able to then spend, I don't know, 17 die rolls to pick this ball up and recover it. Condor, the Condor, now the ball carrier on the opposing 8-yard line. SB Beaver says, ever heard of the show Evangelion? Why, I have. That's from the 90s, though. Okay, Mike says, I miss Circus Imperium. Like the board game? FASA made that, right? Blitz of the ball carrier here. Gets a dodge push out of it. You can't knock down Condor the Condor. He's the third biggest Condor in North America. 2-die block against the Harpy Eagle. Gets a POW out of this. I mean, even in the 80s, I watched a ton of Tom and Jerry, right? Because that was syndicated everywhere. Like Tom and Jerry and Scooby-Doo, of course. Two-die block again here on the ball carrier, and again it's going to be a dodge push. Tara Reid on the block here. Blitz has been spent, so that's the last of the blocks on the catcher. Remember, this catcher has nerves of steel, so even though they're the catcher, they can still pass. They have an edge of 2+, and they don't care if they're marked on this pass. Two-die block against Magpie over on the right side of the line of scrimmage. Gets a POW out of this. Wonder Dog was She-Wolf says Wonder Dog was a favorite of mine. Magilla Gorilla I love. There was one like 70, what was it? Wacky Races, I think it was, where they had like it was like the Hanna-Barbera, like various Hanna-Barbera characters like in a big like cross-country race. Armor break on the right side of the line. Gets a KO. Well done. That's our first KO. One-man player advantage for the Gutterballz. Turn 3 for the Birds of the Feather. They were able to hold on to this ball that turn. Now we'll see if they actually pitch this ball to someone else. Old Gamer Mike says Pirates of Dark Water. I think I really love that cartoon, but I can't remember. Like, I remember it, but I remember it not ending. And I was like, oh, what's the mystery? Yeah, Pink Panther. I remember as a kid, some channel on TV, they were gonna air. They were advertising a Pink Panther movie, and I was like, "Oh man, I love Pink Panther! Can't wait to watch this!" And the movie starts up, and it's the cartoon Pink Panther just for the intro, though. Then it was just like it was a live action like spy movie or something, and I'm like, "What is this garbage?" Oh, Fraggle Rock! Man, I used to watch Fraggle Rock all the time. I used to like look forward to Fraggle Rock. Dance your cares away, worries for another day. Let the music play. Down in Fraggle Rock. 15 seconds left in turn 3. Blitzing away the number 10 Orc lineman, trying to blitz away the number 10 Orc lineman, only gets a push out of this. Oh yeah, I absolutely remember. I remember the branded TV guide, but I also remember like the cable network's little guide that you'd get. I am old enough. I don't want to age myself, but I'm old enough. I remember as when I was a kid, our first cable box, the remote control. Wah! Why not? You did it last turn. Do it again this turn. Dodge galore. Elves being elves. 4 to a 3 to a 2 and a rush, cause why not? And another rush. Whoa! 2 more rushes. 4 plus 3 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus. Now the ball's on the 24-yard line. Mediocre greatness. Welcome to the stream. Getting nothing with it. Na 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 na. Minute 40 here in turn 4 for the Gutterballz. Oh yeah, right. I was talking about how old I am. So our cable box, I remember when I was a kid, when we first got our cable box, the remote was tethered to the box, like it was wired. And the remote itself had a dial on it, and you would turn the dial for the channel. Big dodge here by Gillespie. The number 3 catcher on the 24-yard line. She-Wolf says, cable box actually had a key to lock it. Really? Speed Beaver. Stop it. I was not born in the 40s. Thank you very much. Two-die block against number 1. What was a key? What was a key for on the cable box? Why would you need to lock the cable box? Oh, that makes sense. I get it. Armor break back up the line of scrimmage, gets a stun against the Harpy Eagle. I remember when HBO would, I mean, it was literally like a movie channel, and there wouldn't be any ads or anything, so you would just, not that there are ads now, but the movie, they would stop the movie for like an intermission in between, and there'd be a clock countdown on the screen, so you could go like, you could go to the bathroom or get something to eat or something. Another armor break here in the secondary. Gets a stun against the red-tailed hawk. That's the thrower on the roster. Trying to rush to mark this ball carrier. Failed the... What's happening tonight? The journeyman gets through the loner roll. Another rush with a 2-die blitz. Got him. Got him. Ball's going to get knocked out into the corner of the pitcher of the 24-yard line. Failed the rush with the journeyman. Spent the reroll. Got through the loner roll. Now a rush on the blitz. Gets the both down. That's going to work out to the block skill. Knocks down the catcher, but the catcher's still on the pitch. No armor break. Turn 4 for Birds of a Feather. Final turn of the first quarter. Two-die blitz. Way back across the line of scrimmage. Gets a pal against Jeff Bridges himself. Breaks armor. Gets a stun. She-Wolf says, if this was when all TV went out after midnight and go to static. I remember as a kid, I used to have like, I don't, what do you call them? Like sleepwalking. I'd sleepwalk and have nightmares when I was a kid. And I remember going to, so there's a little bit of backstory to this. So when I was growing up, like one of the rooms in the house was a playroom, right? Yeah. So in our playroom, there was a tapestry in the room of a cowboy. 3+ dodge, rolling so many dice. What a score by the birds of a feather! 1-0. Those shoes give you no fear. The fearless laser shoes. Stand up, dodge, ball pickup, dodge, score. My goodness. 1-0, birds of a feather on the board. The Gutterballz is going to be back on offense here for the second quarter of this game. My goodness. Right, so we had this tapestry. It was a cowboy. And I used to have nightmares about it all the time. So I remember I was in a different room of the house on the same floor. 5 players get repositioned on the defense here. It can't be marked, so none of the linemen can move, but the other 8 can. Still 11v11 on the pitch. SPB were asked who started on offense. The Gutterballz did. So they started on offense. So I was watching TV like late at night. I've always been a night owl. So even as a kid, I'd like sneak around at night and stuff. And when I say I'm a kid, I was like 5 or something. And I was watching TV, and then they would play, at least here in the States, they would play the national anthem before they went off the air for the evening. And then after that, the TV would go to static. So I was watching TV, and then the national anthem played, and I was like, oh no, here it comes. I must have been asleep at this point. And once the anthem played and TV went off the air and it went to static, the cowboy came off the wall, walked into the room, and was like, time to go to work. And I walked into the playroom. I remember this nightmare so vividly. The door slammed behind me, and then he lassoed me by my neck and pulled me up the wall. It was so scary. Yeah, it was really scary. I remember having a nightmare once where Skeletor from He-Man, like, we had a spiral staircase in the house when I was growing up, pulled me down the spiral staircase. It's so weird. Turn 5 now for the Gutterballz. Second quarter of this game begins. John Turturro back to receive once more. The ball kicked to the 20-yard line. 10v10 on the pitch. SB said right after the show, Married with Children. I loved that show so much. I loved Married with Children. It's pure trash television, but I loved it. T9 block gets a push here. She will says, my mom put creepy fairies wallpaper up in my room, and those fairies would stare at me and I got nightmares. That sounds very scary. I don't think I want anything looking at me on the walls. I made my dad take down that tapestry. I was like, take it, it's gotta go. Take it down. T9 block against Magpie. Gets a push. Final block on the line. It's going to be a POW against the Woodpecker. .43 seconds left on the clock. 4 minutes, 12 seconds left on the bonus clock for the Gutterballz. It's so hard for me to not say the Gutterballz. Birds of a Feather have just 4 minutes, 29 seconds left on the clock here. Good recovery of the ball here by John Turturro. Moves, thank you, Alexa. Moves up to the 10-yard line. 12-yard line, excuse me. Oh, man, the first Poltergeist movie scared the bejesus out of me as a kid. I loved it, but it was terrifying. Two-dive blitz in the left wide zone. Gets a POW against the Harpy Eagle. Remember, these blitzers have sidesteps, so Galeshi's able to keep these blitzers where he wants them to be. That can be extra movement, like free movement. That can be just continuing to mark whoever you want to mark. Birds of a feather. This is their second drive on defense. They're in the lead 1-0 after bananas die rolls. SP Beaver says, as a kid, I watched The Exorcist in the theater when they re-released it. My brother slept on the other side of my wall, and would talk in his sleep. I could not sleep for a week after seeing the movie. The Exorcist didn't scare me so much. You know what scared me? The Omen as a kid scared the crap out of me. Yeah, I mean, even though they were scary, for whatever reason, I've always liked horror movies. Even when I was a kid and they were terrifying. One die block over in the left wide zone here. Got the POW against Steve Buscemi. Golden Eagle on the blitz. Yeah, when I was a kid, there was a channel. Two plus dodges, no biggie. These positive dodges are always a 2+. There was a channel 54. And a 2-die blitz against Argok here. This is the Journeyman looking for a big 10+ to blitz. I hope he doesn't get it. They would have Nightmare Theater every weekend, which I always look forward. By this point, I was like a young teenager. But Nightmare Theater, they would show horror movies, and they had Kung Fu Theater, where they would show Kung Fu flicks. I loved that block. Like some friends and I would always get together to watch it. It was so cool. Oh, Gamer Mike says these are some bashy elves. These are some elvy elves. Spire says New Marino is low rolling armor breaks. Yeah, it can be frustrating when you're up against a fragile team. You're like, oh, I'm just going to murder all of his pieces, and then you don't. It can be very frustrating. Good 2+ dodge here. This is something to watch out for when you're up against an Elvish team as well. So when you have something where you can get like a positive dodge out of it, like let's say you come here, right? This gap, you may say, oh, I've got it covered. Not against elves, you don't, because this right here, that's a 2+ dodge. So you've really got to be mindful when you're trying to screen or do something to keep somebody from getting past you. You've really got to watch the gaps and cover them adequately. Birds of a Feather spend their final re-roll to get the number 4 catcher over on the right side to apply pressure. Again, there were two ways he could have gone about this game. He could have stayed away, holding this opposing team, this orc team, to a blitz turn, or he could leverage his speed and agility to apply some early pressure, and that's exactly what he's been doing in these first 2 drives of this game. So far, to great success, praise Nuffle. but now out of re-rolls. Turn 6 for the Gutterballz. They have 1 re-roll remaining. 2-die block. Back at the line of scrimmage, the left defensive end's going to be pushed aside. Knockdown on the Woodpecker, looking for an 8+. Got the armor break. Got a KO. There's the first first removal. One-man player advantage for the Gutterballz. Gutterballz absolutely don't want to end this half down a touchdown. They'll be in real trouble if that's the case. Even if they score, they've got an uphill battle here in the second half. They're going to be on defense against elves. Against passing elves at that. Lots of options for this Elvish team. Very fast, very agile. They've got a passing game. They've got a running game. They're almost certain to score in the second half of this game. So unless El Nubarino can get a significant player advantage quickly, or maybe get these blitzers off the pitch, they might be playing for a draw right here. One at the half. They'll be down 2-1 in the second half, and then maybe get the ball back soon enough to draw this out 2-2. But we'll see what happens. They've got the ball across the line of scrimmage now, after the blitz by John Turturro. 2-die block on the right side of the line is a push. We'll have to follow up and keep Magpie tagged. Push against Starling in the right wide zone. Fills in the back right corner. Under 3 minutes on the bonus clock for the Gutterballz. Lots of time taken on the bonus clock here in the first half of the game. 1-die block against the Harpy Eagle is going to be a dodge push. We'll see where the Harpy Eagle decides to go. It's going to push back to Jackie Treehorn. Turn 6 now for the Birds of a Feather. They're in the lead. No rerolls left. We have 2:42 on the bonus clock. Watch out for laser skates over here. This has to be a secret weapon. Like, this cannot be legal. Your shoes are made of light. Show me where in the rules and regulations you can have light shoes. You know where I think you got these from? The Norwegians. That's where I think you got these from. Knocks down number 7, Steve Buscemi, in the left wide zone. Cobblestorms. Welcome to the stream. Cobblestorm says, show us where it says you can't have light shoes. You know, that's a fair point. She-Wolf says he stole them from the Greek god. What's his name? Hermes? Hermes, I believe you're referring to? 1-die block gets a pal against Jeff Bridges. Jeff Bridges, the mighty blow blitzer. And now 1-die block against Jackie Treehorn gets a push. The Harpy Eagle on the block's going to follow up and mark John Turturro, the ball carrier. Very, very aggressive elves. Here's the blitz. 1-die blitz on the ball carrier's skull. That is a turnover. The aggression has caught up to the elves. Turn 7 forward to Gutterballz. They have to end this turn in scoring position. They'll block John Turturro free. He'll get down pitch and probably have some decent coverage as well. Boot Polish says, as a career gray area specialist, it's about what is specifically stated as wrong. All else is legit at least once. You didn't tell me I couldn't do that. Did I block on the Harpy Eagle? Unfortunately, this push is going to be a sidestep to not free the ball carrier, but we'll still get another attempt at this if the Harpy Eagle ends up in this space right here. And that's where the Harpy Eagle will remain. So the next block on the Harpy Eagle, I was going to say probably a blitz, but it wasn't. It was not a blitz. Maud Lebowski on the block. The Harpy Eagle could remain right here. It's going to get pushed back a space, though. She will fast. Oh, Harpy has an injury he's playing with? Yeah, so the Harpy has a serious injury, which means, so in the game, if you're unfamiliar, when you take a block on a player, you have to roll your block dice first. So this is the dice with the iconography on them. If you knock down the player, then you have to roll 2d6 normal dice to break their armor. That's the AV value right here. So to break the Harpy Eagle's armor, you'd have to roll a 9+ on 2d6. If you do that, then you make an injury roll. There's a hidden table. It's not hidden in the tabletop game, but here in the video game, it obfuscates it. It rolls it for you. There's an injury table you roll on, and when you break armor, it's either a stun, a knockout, or a casualty. If it's a casualty, there's one more die roll to make. It's on the casualty table, and you roll a d16. And that can cause lasting injuries or even death. So this blitzer has a serious injury, which means any future casualty rolls will be a +1. The higher the number, the worse the casualty. 15+ on the d16 is death. Which is a lot better than the old version of the rules, which was, they called it a d68. You'd roll a d6 and a d8. If you rolled a 6 on the d6, that was a death, so it was a 1 in 6. Dude, I block over on the right side of the line, gets a pal here against Magpie. Ball's going to advance now to the opposing 14-yard line. She will fast. Is it better to fire a player with a lasting injury if you don't have a lot of skills you have poured into them? It certainly can be, yeah. So, if, let's say I have a player like this guy here, and he loses a point of armor value, so now he's a 7+ instead of an 8+, I would probably fire him. Because you're carrying that, his salary counts against your team value, so that's money that you're just giving to the opposing team in the inducement phase. You always get the difference in team value and petty cash that you can spend on inducements. Another armor break here. Gets a KO, 2-man player advantage now forward to Gutterballz. So, like if he lost a point of AV, I would say probably fire him. But let's say Jeff Bridges here, he has a passing value of 4. Let's say he broke his arm and his passing value was a 5+. I might keep him because I'm never going to pass with him. She will fast. So you get your money back when you fire them. You don't get the actual money back. It's just they don't count against your team value. So let's say your team value was 1,000,000 gold and the player was worth 100,000. Your team value is now worth 900,000. So if the opposing team is worth 1 million, you're now getting 100,000 gold in petty cash that you can spend at the beginning of just that one game. But if you kept him, you're getting no money, and you have a player that dies very easily. Turn 7 now for the Birds of a Feather. They're going to take a mark on John Turturro. John Turturro has to score next turn. Failed the dodge! all the rerolls have come to finally haunt these elves. I don't know if haunt's the right word, because the elves are doing really well. Turn 8 for the Gutterballz. They have 1 reroll left. I don't know if he's going to risk this. other than adjust to score. He'll blitz with not John Goodman? Oh, he's got Maud Lebowski. 3-die blitz. Got the pal looking for an 8+ here. And that frees up the ball carrier. It'll be a 1-1 ball game now. Going in to turn 8. Here's the problem, though. The Gutterballz. Great touchdown by El Nubarino. But there's one turn left for this very fast, very agile Elven team. We'll see if they can get on the board. Both KOs come back for birds of a feather. SP Viewer says, say there's a War Dancer that lost a passing point. What's the passing value on War Dancers anyway? I'd probably keep it. I'd probably keep it. I mean, maybe if I had absolutely nothing to spend my money on and I'm rolling, I don't know, like 200K on expensive mistakes, maybe then. I don't know. The Gutterballz are going to screen out the pitch here. 3 on the line. Birds of a feather, if they're going to score in one turn, they need to push a catcher 3 spaces. There's 13 spaces from the line of scrimmage to the end zone. The catcher has an MA of 8 with 2 rushes. That's 10. That means 3 pushes would get the catcher into position to score in one turn. Otherwise, the Birds of a Feather are looking for a timeout. The red-tailed hawk. That's the thrower on the roster, back to receive. Here's the kick. If there is not a timeout, it'll be 1-1 after half. It's a quick snap. 1-1 to score. We'll see if this is a touchback or not. This Elven Union team will have an opportunity to try to block down this line for some SPP, some player advantage. And then we'll go into a full 11v11 second half. So the Gutterballz did a great job of getting back on the board there. But now it's tied 1-1. We'll see if the offense actually plays really aggressively or not. I think the offense might retreat on turn 9. Ball's going to stay on the pitch here. And try to stall this out for as long as possible. Then score maybe at the beginning of the fourth quarter or some ways into the fourth quarter. And then they'll be up 2-1. Then it'll be difficult for these orcs to get on the board, depending on how many elves remain on the pitch. Gets the assist on the right side of the defensive line. Gets a knockdown against Jeffrey Lebowski. Two-die block now by the Golden Eagle. Gets a pal against Argok. Blocked down the line here. Gets nothing out of it. Still has a blitz on the table. Probably going to try to blitz Steve Buscemi here with a strength of 3. Everybody else is a strength of 4. keep getting Slack messages. 18 seconds left. Looks like Galeshi is trying to identify a blitz target. Only 2 minutes 39 seconds left on that bonus clock. Still fail. Oh, what was that dodge about? What was the dodge about? Was that an error? Second half of this game begins. Quarter number 3. 11v11 on the pitch. So after the turnover, didn't get to use the blitz, didn't get to pick up that ball for some easy SPP either. There's 4 ways you get SPP in the game of Blood Bowl. You get 1 SPP for completing a pass. The passer will get 1 SPP. You get 2 for inflicting a casualty, 3 for a touchdown, 4 for being declared the MVP of the game. So what you'll often see, and it's pretty easy to do for these high agility teams, is if they have nothing else to do on a turn, they'll pick that ball up and just do a quick pass to another player nearby, and they'll pick up 1 SPP. Some coaches will just pass that ball back and forth for a number of turns and pick up a lot of really quick SPP really in succession. SPP are star players points. These are the experience points of the game. Once you gain a certain amount, you can level up, and when you level up, you can do a number of things. You can select a skill from a certain category. You can increase one of your stats, your movement allowance, or your strength, or your agility, and so on. Some of the categories, it depends on the player and it depends on the team. Players have access to primary and secondary buckets of skills. The secondary ones are more expensive. You can also random from a bucket, which are half as expensive, but obviously you don't get to pick the skill. It's a random skill from that bucket, which can sometimes be very useful for a number of reasons. So let's say you have a lineman, and he has access to strength, and you're like, you know what? 80% of these skills I'm fine with. I'm going to random it. A, it costs you less SPP, but B, it also counts for less on your team value, right? So like if you get a skill, it'll increase the worth. It'll increase the salary of that player by 20,000. But if you random it, it only increases it by 10,000. Brilliant coaching. So the birds of a feather, and I think they picked up some coaches, right? Okay. I think that was last game. But the birds of a feather are going to pick up an extra reroll here. They're up to a massive 4 rerolls. Cobblestone says you forgot interceptions. Just joking, that never happens. Black gets a POW against John Turturro here on the right side of the pitch. Two-plus pickup by the thrower. The red-tailed hawk in possession of the ball. 2+ pickup because the edge skill is 2+. Has the throw skill, so get a free reroll on a throw if need be. Back on the bonus clock for the Birds of a Feather, down to just 2 minutes 33 seconds, excuse me. The winner of tonight's game will jump up into 3rd place in Division A. Remember, the top 2 teams of each division and the best 3rd place team between the 3 divisions are the two best third place teams between three divisions. Will all advance to the top 8, which is a single elimination bracket. They'll be ranked by competition standing. So if you take the 3 divisions and you mash them all together like they were one big division, they'll be seeded in that order. The winner and the runner-up of the competition will earn an invitation to the championship at the end of the season. The winner in the upper bracket, the runner-up in the lower bracket. Current Chaos Cup champion is none other than Doug the Minotaur. Won the Chaos Cup last season with the White Skull Windbreakers. Had an undefeated competition. Finished the competition 5-3-0. Doug the Minotaur demands death. 44 seconds to go here in turn 9 for the Gutterballz. So a pocket set up for the Elven offense here. And New York's taking the marks that they want to take. They want to be blocking players, but they just have to be careful that these elves don't get away from them. We saw how these elves just danced around these orcs to score early in the first drive of the game. Two-die block against Magpie, gets a pow out of this. Argok on the block. This is the journeyman. The Gutterballz back on the bonus clock. They are down to just 50 seconds on the bonus clock for the entire game. They're going to shoot Tara Reid through to take a mark on the Woodpecker. Here's the blitz on the ball carrier. On not the ball carrier. The Woodpecker. Takes the blitz. Gets a knockdown. 7+ breaks armor with Mighty Blow. Got it! Got the removal. Did not follow up either. And rush it. So wanted to take out this player and then end up over here marking the ball carrier after the rush. 2 SPP gained by Jeff Bridges. Now the blitz on Jeff Bridges. This will be a knockdown. The Harpy Eagle on the blitz. Ball carrier freed right back up. The blitzer just moves over, takes a blitz, and says, "Excuse me. I need to get back home." Takes a mark on Maud Lebowski. Ball on the 10, on the Birds of a Feather's own 10-yard line. They move forward, hands off to Condor, Condor the Condor. Here he goes. He did it. He's got the laser shoes. There he goes. So they're going to score early, it looks like. Another rush. 2 rushes. Why not? They're already on the opposing 20-yard line. So fast. Two-die block on John Turturro. Gets a push. So on that catch, it's a 2+. 1 mark makes that just a 3+. And they're catchers, so they get a free reroll. A handoff is a catch. Rolls a skull against Jackie Treehorn. Decides not to re-roll this. Wants to save all 4 of those re-rolls. Turn 10 back to the Gutterballz. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. This is a side effect of being too near laser shoes. This is what happens. Your leg quantizes in and out of reality, you see? That's the problem with the laser shoes. It's not polite to wear them around your friends. It really causes them havoc. And you know what? That's not covered by insurance. Really unfortunate. But it does win ball games. A mark taken against the Harpy Eagle back across the line of scrimmage over in the right wide zone. It's got a 2-die block with Maud Lebowski. Muscle spasm. That is quite the spasm. if your leg looks like that on a muscle spasm, you need to see, I don't know if you need to see a doctor. You need to see like a theoretical physicist. Which, you know what? I guess is a doctor. 33 seconds to go here in turn 10. One dive block way over on the left side of the line here against Starling. Gets a push. And now a team reroll spent on the journeyman and gets through the loader roll and breaks armor. That's a KO. It's another player removal. So a 2-man player advantage for the Gutterballz now. 2-die block on Albatross. This is a knockdown. 8+ breaks armor. Blitz of the ball carrier. 1-die blitz. That is a dodge push against Condor the Condor. But his friends just call him Condor. Failed 3+ dodge. Spends another team reroll this time, but fails the dodge. The Gutterballz down to 1 reroll for the game. The Birds of a Feather with 4. Will almost certainly see the blitz against Steve Buscemi. Who's the catcher all the way back, get the assist for the 2-die block against Jeff Bridges. No armor break. 2-die blitz against Steve Buscemi. Gets the push. Boot polish says Steve has got this way better than Bacon. Doesn't seem like he does. Frees up the ball carrier. Are the Birds of a Feather going to walk into the end zone right here? There it is. 2-0 the score now. The Gutterballz with a lot of time left on the clock to tie this ball game up. Man, elves make some weird noises, man. Oh, what has happened? Oh, I don't like this at all. What has happened to my camera? She-Wolf said, I don't blame him for that. I'd be so nervous to stall it. Yeah, I don't think he could. I don't think he could stall it. But what he could have done... Why is my camera so weird? But what he could have done at the beginning of the turn is, while he was here on the kickoff, he could have retreated this way and used his speed advantage and engaged a couple turns later to stall this way. But Galeshi feels very, very confident of getting on this board. And you know what? If you can do it, that is, of course, better because you're picking up that much more SPP. The more SPP you pick up sooner, the better, or the more you actually get to leverage it and the skills that you pick up. So, so far it's working out. We'll see if they can hang on to this lead. Did I hit you accidentally? Let's see. I don't think so. I don't even know what U does. What is this? Enable or disable camera auto follow. Well, that's going to be a disable. Oh man, the controls are like inverted. All right, we'll do that. We'll go with that. So the Gutterballz set up their offense. John Turturro back to receive. One reroll left for this orc team. Here's the kick. It's an officious ref. Oh, doesn't like Maud Lebowski, the center. Stuns Maud Lebowski. Turn 11 now for the Gutterballz. They have just 2 seconds left on the bonus clock. One reroll left. They're going to pull in Tara Reid to get some protection on this ball. It's always a good idea to try to protect the ball first before you start rolling dice, right? If you care about the ball, and I would argue, at least in the past, there were some teams that maybe didn't care about the ball at certain parts of the game, like old Underworld, I'd argue didn't care about the ball for a while. But generally speaking, you want to win games. And so that means at some point you have to care about the ball. And if you care about the ball, protect it. Make sure it's safe first before you start taking risks. Because if you take a risk and it doesn't go your way, you have not protected the... Oh, no! Took the block with the journeyman on the line. Got a both down result out of it. Spent the final team reroll to try to keep the drive alive, but couldn't get through the loner roll. Did get a removal on the trade, but that's a stun on Argok. And now turn 12 for Birds of a Feather. And I have to imagine we're going to once more see some big pressure on the ball. There has to be a way to, like, reset the camera, right? There it is. That's how you reset it. A rush to get the mark for the rush blitz. Gets a push against John Goodman. Yeah, I hit C. That's what it was. SB Beaver says, what's this ball thing you talk about? Fails a rush, but has 3 rerolls. Second rush, fails it again. It fails. How many times? How many times does a rush fail? How many times do I have to say it? Failed the first rush, spent a reroll. Failed the second rush, spent a reroll, failed it again. That's right. That's right, She-Wolf 9. 100% of the time. SB Beaver with the reminder and the emergency rush warning. Thank you very much for the bits. It's the final turn of the third quarter here. The Gutterballz need to keep this ball safe here. Good pickup by John Turturro. Hands off the ball. Tries to hand off to John Goodman. But remember, these orcs hate each other. So they have animosity. This is a nega trait. And what that says is if they need to give this ball to one of their teammates, whether it's a pass or a handoff, they have to roll a d6. On a 1, they'll refuse to do so. They say, you know what, John Goodman? I never liked your acting. Got through the animosity roll, though, but it was a 3+ on the catch. Failed the catch. And with no rerolls remaining, that's going to be a turnover. Space Hermes, the number 3 catcher, moves over into the right wide zone. SB Beaver said, what? John Goodman is a national hero. Look, I didn't say it. I didn't say it. John Turturro said it. That's just a fact. .50 seconds left on the clock here. In turn 13, first turn of this final quarter of the game. Birds of a Feather in the lead, 2-1. They have 1 reroll remaining. They have 2 minutes, 29 seconds left on the bonus clock. Who let Kevin Bacon on the field? Another failed pickup after a spent reroll. No rerolls remaining for the game. Turn 13 forward to Gutterballz. The ball is going to bounce up to the 6-yard line just inside the right wide zone. Jeffrey Lebowski marking the ball currently. This ball does hate everyone. I think Kevin Bacon got a hold of the ball. Mighty Blow blitzer Jeff Bridges, the dude himself, takes a mark on the ball on the left side. Two-die block against Starling on the line of scrimmage. Gets a push out of this. The Gutterballz really on the back foot here with 50 seconds left in the turn. Remember, just 2 seconds left on the bonus clock, so they don't really have any bonus time remaining. Boy, rolling Snake Eyes. After this sort of game, rolling Snake Eyes on the armor break. Ooh. Ooh. I mean, I know that Snake Eyes has no more or less meaning than rolling, say, a 7, but still. Two-die block against the Golden Eagle. Gets a knockdown here. John Goodman on the block. Looking for a 9+. Doesn't get it. Just 7 seconds left on the clock. Just 2 on the bonus clock. Blitz. This looks to be the end of the bonus time. We'll see. That's it. No more bonus time for the Gutterballz. They are out of resources. Turn 14 now for the Birds of a Feather. So hard to stop elves from scoring, and Galeshi's aggressive elven defense. Boy, it's been paying off. Some of these drives it really shouldn't have, but it did. And that's not to say, I mean, this has been a great strategy here for Galeshi. Using that speed advantage, using that agility advantage. Let's say that some of these crazy die rolls didn't happen. Still very strong because it keeps the orcs pinned in place, and it makes them roll dice and spend rerolls that they just don't want to spend. The risk, of course, is that you start losing players, but that just hasn't happened. Birds of a Feather are only down 2 players. Boy, another rush takes a mark against Jeffrey Lebowski. Stand-up blitz. One-die blitz is a skull. 9+ is going to break armor on the Golden Eagle, but they'll stay on the pitch. Turn 14. Back to the Gutterballz. Can they reclaim this ball and get on the board? They really want to move this turn. They have no rerolls left. They get a pal against Starling on the right side of the line of scrimmage. Breaks armor. Gets a stun. Big stun here. Starling will be out for turn 15 and perhaps effectively out on turn 16. 3 MA to stand up, 6 MA total. Another armor break, another stun. Here we go. This is perhaps the opportunity the Gutterballz need. They've still got to claim this ball. It's going to be a 3+ on the pickup. Taking the marks first. After clearing the players at the line of scrimmage. They've now got all this space. Daylight. For days. A blitz against Jeff Bridges. Gets a both standing result. Or by Jeff Bridges, not against Jeff Bridges. Tried to unmark Jeffrey Lebowski. But I think it's going to be John Goodman who has to pick this ball up. Has to end next turn in scoring position. Oh, fails the pickup. Turn 15 for Birds of a Feather. Ball still on the ground. It's on the 8-yard line in the right wide zone. If they recover this ball, they're going to be in very good shape. If not, the Gutterballz are going to have another opportunity to get this ball down pitch. Stand up blitz. John Goodman's going to be knocked out. Big knockdown here. Don't know if he wants to recover with the Golden Eagle or not. You might want to recover with somebody who can hand off. He does have a player in scoring position, number 4. So we might see the Timber Doodle on the 2+ dodge to the 3+ pickup to the 2+ dodge. Here we go. Here's the handoff. Good handoff. That is it. The Birds of a Feather are going to increase their lead in this ball game. Very well done. 3-1 the score. The Birds of a Feather are going to win this ball game. We've got 2 turns left, I think. 2 turns left for the Gutterballz. 1 turn left for the Birds of a Feather, unless of course there's a timeout. Nine left on the pitch for the Elves. It'll be a 2-man player advantage for the Gutterballz. With 2 turns left, they absolutely have time to get it into the end zone and get another touchdown out of this. Three on the line for the defense. 6 on the line for the offense. John Turturro once again back to receive, just 1 point shy of a level up. Very aggressive Elven play against these Orcs. And it worked out. They're only down 2 players. You know what? I guess you don't have to worry about getting blocked if you just score in 2 turns. the Gutterballz with 1 minute left to set up their opening formation here. They have no time left on the bonus clock. They currently have 7 on the line now. The tight end on the right side is going to shift to the left. And now here's the kick, perhaps the final kick of this game. Artist Leet, welcome to the stream, says that's how I play. Did you mean Skaven? I mean, if that's how you play Shaven, that's cool too. Oh, Nuffle, come on! Yeah, I mean that's totally legit with the Skaven team. Gutter Runners, MA9, Edge 2+. So to add insult to injury, the Birds of a Feather get the blitz, and they roll a D3 on the blitz. So 6 unmarked players are going to get to activate before the offense gets to activate. Oh, man. Oh, boy. Whew. All right. Could the Birds of a Feather get on the board again? Finally failed a 4+ dodge. That's a turnover. Turn 15 for the Gutterballz. If the Birds of a Feather had any team rerolls remaining, they would not be allowed to use them during the blitz, because those team rerolls can only be used on your turn. That kickoff event is not your turn, and therefore you can't use the team rerolls. Armor Break gets a KO out of this. Doesn't really get a whole lot out of this on turn 15. Aridus Sleet says, get sprint and an MA +1 on the Gutter Runner and go 13 spaces in 1 turn. That's very true. Rookie Gutter Runners are an MA of 9, +1 movement allowance brings them up to a 10. 2 rushes is a 12. Remember, there's 13 spaces from the line of scrimmage to the end zone. Sprint lets you rush 1 extra space. So, oh, that's right. That's right. They changed the rule. You can't go up to 10 anymore. That's right. You used to be able to go up to 10. Now 9 is the cap. The Gutterballz, 2 turns left here. They can certainly get on the board. It's all about SPP at this point. Well, maybe not all about SPP. No, it's all about SPP. Aridus Sleet says, I haven't played in a while. It makes me sad. Yeah, they changed a lot. So like, there's a passing stat now. So I think the rules. I don't know if this is true, but my impression is that universally the new rules are considered much, much better. JD Whitey with the raid. Thank you very much, JD Whitey. You're catching the tail end of our doubleheader. But I appreciate the raid very, very much. Welcome, Raiders. Thank you, JD Whitey. JD Whitey at the in the top of Division A. Hey! In the top of Division A! There's some 2 SPP. Well done. But yes, Aridus Elite, if you do want to get back in the Blood Bowl, the way our league is structured, you can... third is top. Don't worry, BB Nut. You're the tippy top. But Artist Elite, if you do want to play, the way our league is structured, you can jump in the middle of the season. You can jump in at the end of this competition. You don't have to, of course, but we've structured it in such a way that, we want new players to be able to play. We want people that haven't played in a while to jump in. and still be competitive. So you don't have to worry about missing a competition. I think last season, maybe season 3, we had somebody jump in the Dungeon Bowl. No, last season we had somebody jump in the Dungeon Bowl, our third and final open competition, and make it to the championship. So here, if you wish, you can come hang out in our Discord, and if you ever decide you want to play, you can just say, hey Ava, I want to play, and then we'll get you on the list and we'll tell you how that works in the next competition. BB Nut says, I'm also starting a new player-friendly league. If it's okay to promote, sure. Rogue Gangsta says, BB season or Death Bowl? BB season. Postmodernism says, I'm seriously considering it for the next championship. That's great. Love to have more players play Blood Bowl. It's a great game. We have a lot of great coaches in the league that are more than willing to talk shop and help you improve your game and really just have fun. I mean, in this league, you can beat up on Kevin Bacon. Who doesn't want to do that? Final turn of the game. The Gutterballz are going to lose this one 1-3, but they fought very hard. Doug the Minotaur says, no, you cannot beat up on Kevin Bacon. Two-die Black against the Golden Eagle. Just gets a dodge, or gets a push out of this. Heredis Lead says, I love Kevin Bacon. He's delicious. A little greasy, but it's all right. 37 seconds left on the clock. No bonus time left, so this is it for the ball game. Two-die blocker over in the left wide zone gets a pow here. Looking for some SPP. He needs an 8+. And now a blitz on the thrower. Two-die blitz. Again, an 8+ with break armor here. There's the armor break, but doesn't get anything out of it. Tara Reid on the pass, perhaps? Just 4 seconds left. Nope. A GG foul. 3 assists on the foul. Hope you enjoyed playing. Here's your injured blitzer. Yeah, call him off, ref. Get him off the pitch. Get him off. Get him out of here. That'll be the end of the game, 3-1, the final. And with that win, the Birds of a Feather are in 3rd place. They are undefeated with a record of 2-2-0. Congratulations to Galeshi. Great play here by both coaches, in fact. But boy, Galeshi's defense was just all absolutely on point. Very well played. All right, let's take a look at the schedule. But no, actually, let's not do that. Let's do, since we can do it now, why don't we look at the stats? I wish it wouldn't kick me out. All right, stats for this game. Look at the running yards, very similar here, but the Gutterballz, 19 inflicted, of course. And of course, you know, lots of blocks, about half as many blocks done by the Gutterballz. I mean, that's what you expect, right? But boy, that defense by the Birds of a Feather was really just second to none. Look at all these dodges. Look at all these dodges. 26 out of 31. Oh man. SPP for the night. I'm scared to look. Oh, it's not so bad. 13 for the Birds of a Feather. 11 for the Gutterballz. We'll take a look at the die rolls real quick here. Yeah, just elves being elves. All right, let's take a look at the schedule before we leave. New Burrito says that. I went a skosh on tilt at the end and probably didn't need to foul. Hey man, it's all part of the game. You do whatever you feels best. All right, coming up next, we're going to have a doubleheader Saturday night, March 15th, starting at 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. That's UTC -4. We're going to get that evening started with Odin. It's Snuffle versus Entanglements. That's Clypheus versus Conkill. And that is Norse versus... Norse versus Imperial Nobility. Norse versus Imperial Nobility. And then following that game at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, we're going to have the Pip Stars with Pips Pippi versus the Gunner Gets, Dead Fred versus Cobblestorm, Lizards versus Goblins. Boy, am I going to like that one. And then on Sunday, March 16th, starting at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, we're going to have the Vesuvian Lavabacks versus the Dream of Wish Foundation, Berserker Tempest versus League Champion Nick Satan. That's going to be Lizards versus Halflings. I'm going to like that one a lot, too. 2 more games are left to be scheduled in week number 5. And we've got 9 weeks of regulation here in the Chaos Cup before the cut to top 8. And then after that, we've got 2 more open competitions in the season before our invitational at the end of the season. So tons of Blood Bowl to play still. And when those 2 games here in week 5 get scheduled, you'll be able to check out and get alerted to that schedule on our website at maml.club. That's MAML.CLUB here on Twitch, or on our social media pages on Blue Sky, X, and Facebook. You can also watch previous games on our YouTube channel. Play Blood Bowl, man. This game is so much fun. You can play Blood Bowl via Blood Bowl 3 on Steam, the Epic Game Store, PlayStation and Xbox, and a tabletop forum at your friendly local game store until Saturday night at 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. Take care, everybody, and enjoy the rest of your Thursday evening. Play Blood Bowl!